Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. That was pranam to all of you. Today we'll take up the third chapter, that is Karma Yoga. And in last chapter, of course, it was the contents of Bhagavad Gita summarized, or Bhagavad Gita Saransh. In that chapter, Lord Krishna talked about different aspects, right from Karma Kand to Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga to Buddhi Yoga to Bhakti Yoga, and also in between about the Ashtanga Yoga. And after clearing the fifth doubt, that is indecision of Arjuna, he gave all this knowledge to Arjuna. And the gist was that you must get established in transcendence. Now, in the last portion of this section of this chapter, chapter 2, we heard that he talked about Sthit Pragya. Sthit Pragya means be established in me. Do not think about anything else. Be composed and be established in me. So he thinks that probably Lord does not want me to fight. He mistook it, in fact. We shall discuss that aspect in this chapter now. So it is yoga of action. Basically, yoga of action means that a person remains in yogic transcendence, and but still he performs. There are two words which we shall come across: action in action and inaction in action. Inaction means that action is performed, but there is no action. That is, there is no resultant reaction to it. So he wants Krishna wants Arjuna to fight, that is action, but it should be inaction in action. So action is fight, and inaction is that do not incur any kind of reaction by fighting or killing your enemy or army. And that is from Sakam Karma, it becomes Nishkam Karma. But in this chapter, Lord says that yes, you can do Sakam Karma. You are qualified to do Sakam Karma because you are a Kshatriya. So he is trying to motivate and inspire Arjuna to come forward and fight in this battlefield. So let us pray to obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedant, Swamini Prabhupada. He is the founder, Acharya of International Society of Consciousness, Krishna Consciousness, and it is because of his so much of literature that he has put commentaries and translations and purpose and written books that he has written. We are here on this platform, common platform, and sharing the knowledge which he has described in his books. As Srila Prabhupada, by leaving his body, he said that I will live through my body. So he is alive with us, in fact, in the form of his teachings in the books. So our obeisances to him. Then let us pray to Shri Shri Radha Govindji, presiding deity at ISKCON temple, Mangaluru, Kulai, and also seek blessings from His Grace, Nam Nisht Das Prabhuji, who is the temple president at Kulai. So, Om Agyan Timirandhasya Gyananjan Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedant Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarni. जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome again, all Prabhujis and Matajis, to today's class. It is chapter number 3. So in chapter number 1, we saw, you can see just a quick recapitulation of what we have done so far. Observing the army, that was the title of the, observing the army in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that was the title of chapter number 1. And after seeing all the opposite side army, he becomes bewildered. He is confused and he expresses many doubts. And ultimately expresses that I am not going to fight because 4 reasons which are mentioned here: compassion, no enjoyment, sinful reactions, fear of sinful reactions. If I kill all these people, I will be responsible. I will be held responsible for killing my own relatives and gurus and uh, relatives. And then by killing elders, the family traditions will be destroyed. And last bit, in 2.6, he says that I'm undecided. And after saying this, I'm undecided about fighting, he surrenders too. So you see, in chapter number, chapter number 1, he was talking to friend Krishna. Now he surrenders. And he's 2.7, he says, कार्पण्य दोषो पहता स्वभाव प्रक्षामि त्वाम धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेता prakshami tvam dharma sammur cheta. I am bewildered in my memory now, and prakshami tvam, I am asking you, yakshe syanishchitam bhuhitan me. Yashe, what is shay for me? What is best for me? Bruhitan me, I am asking you. Syanishchitam, for certainty, please tell me what is best for me under these circumstances. Shishyaste aham sadimam tvam prapannam. I am now a surrendered soul unto you. I surrender. Now please guide me. What should I do? So this is how the surrender, the entire, perspective of this battle changes now, because now Arjun is listening and Krishna is guiding and answering his doubts and questions. So this is the turning point in Bhagavad Gita. Prakshami tvam dharma samurjita. I am bewildered in my body and I surrender unto you. So this was the summary of chapter 2. 2.1 to 10, we saw that it was Arjuna's further doubts and his surrender ultimately, we just now heard. 11 to 30, it is Gyan, fight, there is no death for the soul. He told that soul is immortal. So many verses were there, almost 20 verses on soul only, body and soul. And then he talked about Karma Kand, that you are a Kshatri, you have to fight. Karma Kand means doing your action as per the prescription of scriptures, that is prescribed duties. So fight, for gain comes from dutifully fighting and losses come from not fighting. And he gave lot of examples that if you don't fight, then you will have bad comments from your opposite, enemies. They will talk bad things about you. There shall be infamy, and nobody will hold you in high esteem, and there shall be dishonor. And lastly, Lord says that dishonor for a person is sorry, is worse than a death for a person. See, so he's inspiring him to fight. As a Kshatriya, it was his religious duty to fight and kill the inimical enemy. Then he gives Buddhi Yoga. After Karma Kand, Buddhi Yoga, Nishkam Karma. That is Nishkam Karma. Buddhi Yoga means only karma plus devotion. Both the things are included in this chapter. And the fight, but without any reaction. And lastly, he mentions about be sthit pragya. Now, Arjun is confused at this stage. He is unable to decide what Lord, uh, was he really confused, or he wanted to, express this confusion for giving a reason for not fighting. So this we'll talk about later on. So sthiti prag, we have seen how a person, what are the symptoms, how does he speak, what is the language, how does he sit, how does he walk. So Lord describes all these things in great details. So after this, we come to this karma yoga. The real Bhagavad Gita begins from here now. So in fact, it is, of course, chapter number 1 to, of course, that is a part. But after Arjuna surrendered, Krishna speaks now. So he cleared many of his doubts in chapter number 2 itself, dealing with the confusion, renunciation or working in Nishkam Karma. Renunciation, can anybody tell what does renunciation means? In Hindi, what, or English, what does it mean? Anyone can unmute, please. Renunciation?
Detachment?
Yeah, detachment, Mataji. Very nice. Any other?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Renunciation means one who is free from all the worldly material things.
Mataji. Renunciation basically means tyag.
Yeah.
Tyag, yes, Prabhuji, tyag. So should I renunciate this claim to the throne of Hastinapur? Should I go and sit in a jungle forest and become Sthit Pragya? That is what is meaning here, renunciation or working in Nishkam Karma. That I should fight here, kill the enemies, and offer the result of my actions to Lord Krishna, because he is telling me to fight. So let me offer. So what should I do? He is confused here. Renunciation or working in Nishkam Karma. There is another word which we will come across in further chapters of Gita. That is renounced order of life. What is that called? Renounce order of life.
Sannyasi.
That is sannyas. Yes, Mataji. So we will come to it. There is a difference between renounce order of life and renunciation. Renunciation here stands for tyag. Should I forego my claim for this kingdom? So then in 10 to 16, he talks about from karma kand to karma yoga. There is difference between that we shall be studying afterwards. And after that, he talks about nishkam karma. It is act as a fight as a duty, religious duty in this battlefield with detachment, not be attached to these persons. They are already killed by me, Lord Krishna said in chapter 11. They are already killed by me. You are just a nimit matra. You have to just symbolic for killing them, but I have already killed them. So he says, as you do it with, and if you do not fight, you will not set the correct example, because a Kshatriya is supposed to fight in the battlefield. If you run away, you don't do your duty here, then it will set a bad example. We know that whatever great people do or whatever holy or religious people do, we try to imitate or follow them. So it will be a bad precedence. If you run away, others will quote your example. And last, the worst thing, which is the blocker in our pathway of spiritual advancement, is the lust and anger. We saw in the last chapter, we studied about it. In the last few verses, we saw that how contemplation results into attachment, attachment results into lust, and lust results into anger, anger results into delusion, and delusion results into bewilderment of memory. And when memory is bewildered, then intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, the power of discrimination is lost. Person falls down. So one has to be very, very careful. I mean, all the devotees have to be very, very careful about getting intensely attached or in a greedy manner to any object of matter or material object. Second, our biggest enemy is anger, because we lose the power of discrimination or our intelligence is lost. So we begin with section 1, dealing with the confusion, renunciation or working in Nishkam Karma. So this is a broad summary of chapter 3. Arjun, should I do the renunciation or should I fight? In thereafter, 3 to 16, he talks about Gyan Yoga, that is what is renunciation. Krishna says that renunciation is very difficult, because we have seen example of Vishwamitra Muni and sage Vishwamitra and also Bharat Maharaj, who were such elevated and exalted souls, but they also fell into the trap, because renunciation is not easy. Control of senses is not so easy. So prescribed action with detachment, that is Nishkam Karma Yoga, is better for Arjuna. One should go from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. But what we understand between Karma Kanda and difference between Karma Yoga?
Karma Kanda means fruitful activities, and Karma Yoga is renunciation,
Action without
without fruitful
urging the food.
results.
Yes, Mataji, without attachment to fruitful activities, fruitful foods or the benefits of the action. So Karma Kanda basically is prescribed in Vedic scriptures. Vedas normally deal with Karma Kanda. You do this thing, then Bhog and Aishwarya, that is the outcome of Vedic knowledge. They talk about rituals, they talk about Karma Kanda. But here, Lord is telling about Karma Yoga, as Mataji, both of you said, explained that Karma Yoga means that there are three types of work, karma, akarma, and bikarma. So he's talking akarma. You do work, but you offer the results to Lord, then your work will be sanctified and you will not enter into any kind of reaction. And he said, he was telling Krishna that look, I have a fear that sinful reaction will occur on me if I kill my elders and gurus and other relatives. Then after that, lust is a formidable enemy of the lust. I described intense greed to possess anything is called lust. Intense greed or attachment to possess something is lust, is a formidable enemy on the path of yoga. So no one should conquer. So one should conquer lust by deliberate spiritual intelligence. And in the last chapter, we discussed that through a chart that what is material intelligence and what is spiritual intelligence. Material intelligence means that we are, hankering for material objects, doing lot of endeavor, earning lot of money, amassing lot of things, going up and up, up just to please the family and show our false, fulfill our false ego. That was material intelligence. And spiritual intelligence was just surrender to Lord Krishna, do loving devotional service to him, considering that I am part and parcel and also eternal servant of Krishna, and that everything belongs to him. Nirmamam, nirahankar. That is, it is nothing is mine, and this is body is not even mine. It is all body is false, and I am only soul. Then 40. So this is how it is described. 17 to 35. I just jumped to last section. Even if Arjuna is qualified for renunciation, he should still do Nishkam Karma Yoga to set the example. Arjuna was qualified for renunciation. Why this is said by Lord Krishna? Because he is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna and he is a surrendered soul and he is not only a friend, but he had no envy towards Krishna. So, and he was so much, soft-hearted that he wanted to even quit the battlefield. So these qualifications of or attributes of a yogi or a devotee make him fit for renunciation. But being in the field, he has to do Nishkam Karma Yoga to set the example for others. So, sorry. Section 1 deals with 1 and 2 verses. Renunciation or work. What should I? You can see the picture here. Should I become sthit pragya or should I fight here and kill the enemies? Now, you can see here, but this happens with most of us. Sometimes we are in a stage of dilemma and confusion. What should we do? Should we go this way or that way or that way? Or find some other solution. So this is the state of Arjun here. Now we can see that he is thinking of renunciation as you can see on the top left picture, or he should act as Lord Hanuman acted. He burned the entire Lanka. Lord Rama had not sent him to burn the Lanka, but he did it as a religious duty because Ravana was a kidnapper, and kidnapping of wife is a kind of offense which is listed against one of the 6 aggressions, right? So he was an aggressor. So that is how, and he would have not done it unless provoked, otherwise. We all of us know the story of Ravana, how is the tail end was, burned by the people within the court of Ravana, and then how he reacted to it. So he's confused now. So I'll just skip this slide because this is just establishing the connection between chapter 2 and 3. In the 2.49, Durena hi avaram. Avaram is abominable activity. Durena you should keep away from any abominable activity and adopt to Buddhi Yoga. So Arjun thinks that Buddhi means intelligence. By using his intelligence, he should avoid all abominable activities and fighting in the battle he was considering as abominable activity. So he wanted to clarify, what should I do? Should I use Buddhi Yoga or I should run away from this place because killing enemy or killing anybody is a sin. Now he's confused. Still Krishna. He's talking two opposite things. We established sthit prajna, and then he's saying that use your intelligence. So Krishna is urging him to fight. So these are contradictory instructions which confuse Arjuna. But the basic concept was really Arjuna confused? He was not confused. He was perhaps seeking an escape route from fighting. That is why he is mixing up the two things. He was very intelligent and he understood Krishna's remarks and Krishna's instructions. So according to Arjuna, renunciation, jnana, or work or karma are incompatible. This is what he said. If I take up jnana, then I should not fight. And if I do the activity of fighting here in the battlefield, then it is not compatible with the jnana. So two line of actions are contradictory to each other. Yes, so we start. This was the verse we read it 2.49, second chapter. Dure nahi avaram karma buddhi yogad dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvicha krapanah phal hetavah. O Dhananjay, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So this resulted into confusion in the uh, uh, mind of Arjuna. He was not sure what action he should take now. So this is the first verse. Any Mataji would like to read this one?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Arjun Vacha. Jyasi te te karmanakte mata buddhir janardana tate kim karmani kore mama niyojayasi kesava. Arjuna said, O Janardan, O Kesava, why do you want to engage me in a ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than the fruitive work.
Yes. So first, let us take two addresses to Krishna. First, he says Janardana, and second address is Keshava. Yes, right. So Arjuna says Janardana. Janardana means who is the one, a king or a protector of all the masses or living entities. Firstly, you are, master of all the living entities, and everybody appeals to you for his life. And in Keshava, because of course KC demon is there, but here it stands that whatever instruction you are giving, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot even disobey your instructions. So you are asking me to fight. So please, and even they cannot deny. So please tell me for certain. Jayasi chet karmanase mata buddhir janardana tam kim takim karmani घोरे mam tam takim karmani घोरे mam. Ghore means very, very ghastly activities. The killing of enemies or killing people in the battlefield is a ghastly activity. So you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare. If you think that intelligence is better than food work, so if intelligence is better, then I should not fight. I should be sthiti pragya and I should leave this ground. So this is a sincerity of a devotee here also. This is a lesson for all of us. He is putting question. He has firstly surrendered. Arjuna has surrendered to Lord Krishna, and now he is putting his queries, doubts which are coming to his mind as a disciple. He's very politely and humbly asking, Lord, you have asked me two things. So there is a, now what should I do? He He wants to know in what consciousness I should act. It is very important about what our activities are. And behind those activities, what is our consciousness? Is it a religious path or it is a material consciousness? We are doing it for bondage or we are doing it for liberation. Now, fighting and killing the enemies in battlefield was a activity for liberation. It was not bondage. Firstly, because it was his duty. Secondly, Lord Krishna was asking him. And thirdly, they were just religious. They were just in the demand. They were on the dharmic side of the matter. So these three reasons make him, absolve him from getting any kind of bondage by killing those enemies. So Janardana and Krishna, now he asked these questions. What you said, be sthit pragya and do karma. So what is to be done? Which is better? Fruitive activities, sakam karma or intelligence? Yes, anybody would like to read this? Such text I would
Hare,
request please to read because my throat is not good. Mataji, so please. let me-
Hare Krishna, may I?
Yes,
say?
Mataji, please.
Buddhi yoga or bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness, sometimes misunderstood to be inertia, a secluded place chosen to chant the holy name of Lord in full Krishna consciousness, not advisable without proper training in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna also thought he too should start penancing with austerity in a secluded place. Under the pretext of Krishna consciousness, Arjuna wanted to tactfully avoid fighting. Rejecting this, the Lord elaborately explained karma yoga or working in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So you can see Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or Krishna Consciousness, they are all identical thing, but they are understood to be inertia. Now, inertia means no activity. Inertia means being idle and sitting at one place doing nothing. This is what impersonalists or yogis do. But in Krishna consciousness, do we like this? Do we act like this? No, we are full of activities. So many things are to be done in the service of Lord because he is a personal form. We have to serve him as a loving father or maybe loving friend or whatever rus or mellow or relationship we have in our mind. So it is misunderstood to be inertia. Some people say that, hey, oh, you are Krishna devotee, leave this word and go to some forest and do meditation and think of Krishna. It's not like this. It is a loving activity all the time. And it is not advisable without proper training in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So basically, renunciation, he's defining the renunciation. Renunciation is not a stoppage of work. It is doing work, but offering the results of or benefits of actions to the Lord. This is renunciation. We talked about Yukta Vairag and Falgu Vairag. Yukta Vairag means whatever material objects are there, if we use it for service of Krishna, it is Yukta Vairag. But if we use it for our sense gratification, then it is not a Vairag. Then it is a Falgu Vairagya. Falgu Vairag means that we apparently we do not use them, but in our minds, the desire for their utilization or our sense gratification still persists. So this is Falgu Vairag. It is shallow. Falgu is a river everybody knows in Gaya, where this Pitra Arpan is done. So Pinddan is done. And it is a very shallow river. You can see it, a very thin film of water is flowing and it is a stagnant kind of water. So this is called Falgu Vairag. It is just a very, very superficial Vairagya kind of thing. So renunciation, as I mentioned, is not renouncing the work or totally giving up work, but giving all the benefits of the work to Lord Krishna. So this is what I meant by consciousness with which his thing is done. Krishna wants Arjuna to develop that consciousness. He wants that do yukta vairagya. Whatever you are doing here in the form of battlefield, in the battlefield, you just offer everything, actions to reactions, offer reactions to me, then you will not incur any sin. Arjuna also thought he too should start penacing with austerity in a secular place. Under the pretext of Krishna consciousness, Arjuna wanted to tactfully avoid fighting. I think this is what I meant earlier, that he wanted to avoid fighting because now Krishna has given his two options. So he thought that let me take up the renunciation part of it rather than doing any kind of karma or action. So rejecting this, the Lord elaborately explained karma yoga. Why? This is the reason why in the second section, that is verse number 3.3 onwards, he is going to describe about Nishkam Karma, that is working in the Krishna consciousness. And that is called action in action in action. There is no inaction, there is no fruit or results in your action. Yes, next one, Mataji, Risha and Mataji, who would like to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay. Vishat Vami Sharvineva Vakyena Buddhim Muhaya Sivame Tad Ekam Vara Vada Nishchitya Yana Shreyo Ham Apunyam. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. The same thing which he said in 2.7. Yakshe, what is shrest for me? Bruhitanme. I am asking you now for definite Shan Nishchitam Bruhitanme. So he is saying again the same thing. Tad ekam bad nishchitya. That means now tell me for certainty one thing. What should I do? You have talked about two things, renunciation and also sakam karma or karma. So he is seeking now clear explanation from Lord Krishna. What should I do? Should I act in Jnana Yoga or should I act in Karma Yoga? So you can see this is the beginning of section B, which says about Nishkam Karma Yoga. Now you can see a family here chanting. So they are so elated and happy and blissful, and everybody, both all the three members are singing, chanting the glories of holy name, and all demigods, including Lord Krishna and all demigods, they are there. Yes, next one. Anyone who has not read, please continue. This is from second chapter, again 39.
Prabhuji,
Yes, ma'am.
can you please put some light on equivocal, what is written in the previous slide?
Yeah, equivocal means you have said two things, which to me apparently look like contradictory. If I fight, then my sthit prajna status or my devotion is, I will incur the sinful reactions of killing those people, and that is not good for me as a Kshatri, as a pious person or a sthit person. I should not fight. And on the other hand, you are saying do karma, nishkam karma. Equivocal instruction means they are contradictory in nature. Yes, this one. This is from 2.39. You can just read it fast. I will not explain. Anyone would like to read it?
Yes, Prabhuji,
Yes,
may I?
ma'am. Yes, please.
एषा ते एषा ते विहिता साख्ये बुद्धियोगे त्व त्वयिमां शृणु बुद्धया युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धनं प्रहास्यसि. Thus far I have described this knowledge to you, analytical study, speculative knowledge. Now listen as I explain in the term of working without fruitive results, that is Karma Yoga. O son of Partha, when you act in
Pratha Mataji.
Pratha, sorry.
No, Pratha.
O son of Pratha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Hare Krishna.
So now we know analytical study, that is a study of body and matter and the spirit soul. He gave so much of more than 20 verses on soul alone and body, imperishability of soul and all those attributes. Then, so far he gave knowledge about analytical study. Now listen about the Karma Yoga. And out of the Karma Yoga, not only Karma Yoga is not only Sakam Karma, but I am going to talk about Nishkam Karma Yoga, which will not bind you, which will free you from any kind of bonds. So he was the third option. He mentioned that I am fearful of the sinful reactions of killing my relatives. So this is another verse from the same chapter, but Lord Krishna says, one who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me is known as a man of study intelligence. When we was mentioning, and 2.61 is the first time Lord says that be devoted to me. So earlier period, he was either friend or as a spiritual master, but now he says worship me. So this is an input of Bhakti Yoga now, 61. And we know there were 72 verses total. So almost 12 verses relate to partly to devotional service or Bhakti Yoga. Yes, this one next. Somebody would like to read. Anyone could take it up. Srila Mataji, if you have not read so far. Swayam Prabha Mataji. Dr. Ipsita, anyone? Please.
May I again read?
Yes, Mataji.
लोकेऽस्मिन् द्वे विधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्षता म- मयाङ्गः ज्ञानायोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनम्. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjun, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by epi-
Empirical. Empirical.
empirical, thank you, empirical philosophical speculation, and other by devotional service. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. So Lord Krishna here says that there are two classes of people. One is Gyan Yogi. Gyan Yogi means who is empirical and philosophical speculation. We know the philosophers and scientists, they try to understand Krishna by their laboratory knowledge. And others are devotionals. Others is Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Or rather, say through their bhakti or devotion. So there are two categories of people who want to understand, who can realize or understand me. Now, how they will understand? They will understand through self-realization process of self-realization. They will understand themselves, realize that they are not body, they are soul. They will realize that Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in their heart as a super soul. And they start worshipping the form of Lord, the name, form, Nam, Roop, Good, and Leela, that is name, form, and attributes or qualities, and the pastimes of Lord. So there are two categories of people. One want to reach me through Jnana Yoga, the other want to reach me through Bhakti Yoga. Here it is mentioned as devotional service, right? So this confusion is being asked by, yes, anybody would like to. This is summary, in fact, basically. These texts are basically summary of sections. Yes, Richard,
Yes,
please.
yes, Prabhuji. May I-
Okay. Okay, Pankaj, Prabhuji,
yeah.
Richa Mataji, after her. After
Okay.
Pankaj. Yes, Prabhuji.
Sankhya Yoga and karma, Buddhi Yoga are interdependent like religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fantasism. Philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Ultimate goal is Krishna, an understanding of the self in relation to the super self. Philosophical speculation, indirect process taking one gradually to Krishna consciousness. Devotional service directly connects everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Path of Krishna consciousness better does not depend on purifying the senses as in Shastras. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process. Direct process of devotional service, both easy and sublime.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, further elaboration of Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. What do people do? Karma Yogis, they perform prescribed duties or which are prescribed as per their Varna Ashrama. And Jnana Yogis, they renounce work. They want to go to a secluded place. They want to do meditation on the Brahma Jyoti and they want to merge it. There is no activity. So this is what was mentioned earlier, that sometimes Krishna consciousness is misunderstood as a going to a secluded place and do devotional service. It's not like this. Jnana Yoga, basically they are mental speculators. They assume a form of Lord, they do not assume, rather they want to merge into that Brahmanic effulgence. But whereas Karma Yogi or a Buddhi Yogi, rather, not Karma Yogi, because Buddhi Yogi is also karma plus bhakti. So Buddhi Yogi wants to perform loving duty without renouncing work itself. So both are basically interdependent. This is what is sentence mentioned is religion without philosophy is sentiment. If person keeps on worshipping without knowing real method of worship, or the reasons behind worship, or the effects of his worship, or performing devotional service, it becomes sentiment. They do not know the real cause why they are worshipping, and becomes a fanaticism. We can see all over the world in the name of religion, so much fanaticism is there. They do not know a single word of their holy scripture, but still they are so mad after their religion. And philosophy without religion is mental speculation. This is he talking about impersonalist philosophers and scientists. They have a lot of philosophy, cause and effect. They believe in the theory of cause and effect, and they keep on mentally speculating, and they want to prove it. Whereas a devotee does not want to prove anything. So for both of them, the path is long for these two persons, Karma Yogi as well as Jnana Yogi. But ultimate goal is to know the Krishna, know about the Krishna, and also our relationship with him. So this is now we come to path of Krishna. Which path is better after Jnana Yoga and Buddhi Yoga? Of course, he is saying Buddhi Yoga is better because it has a component of devotion here. And devotion, why we do devotion? To purify our heart. And what is the impurity in our heart? The impurity in our heart is nirmamam nirahankara. This is what we without sense of lordship, or without the sense of proprietorship, and also without false ego. Ahankar means false ego. So two things have to be purified before we take up devotional service. Is it clear? Two things. Our heart is impure. The soul is contaminated because of material desires, and heart is contaminated by our anarthas. These two anarthas, though unwanted things, are number one is that we want to lord over material nature. We claim proprietorship or ownership on the material nature. And thirdly, we are surrounded very thickly by a layer of false ego, that I am this, this is mine, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my house, this is my money. So these things are purified when one renders devotional service. So direct process of devotional service is both easier now. We'll come to it. Just let us take an example now. You have to go to, say, 10th floor of a high-rise building, and there are three options. One is steps, right? The second is ramp, and third is an elevator. Which one you will prefer? You have to reach 10th floor of a high-rise building, and there are three options available. One is steps to the 10th floor. Second is ramp is there. You can climb the ramp. And third is a lift or elevator.
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 Why?
Lift, of
Why
course.
shall we
Lift,
choose the lift?
because
That
it
is
is
the
faster.
fastest mode.
It is
Effort
faster.
taken is less.
It is faster. Time taken is less. Effort is less. Physical effort involved. So direct process of devotional service is both easy and sublime, because there is direct relationship, right? So what is religion? And this is a definition of religion and philosophy. Swam Prabha Mataji, please read. Please unmute yourself, Mataji.
Yes. What is religion? Religion is a set of organized beliefs, practices, and systems that most often relate to belief and worship of a controlling force, such as personal God or another supernatural being. However, not all religions are centered on a belief in a god, gods, or supernatural forces. It can encompass a range of practices, including sermons, rituals, prayer, meditation, holy places, symbols, trances, and faiths. What is philosophy? Those who study philosophy are perpetually engaged in asking, answering, and arguing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is a beautiful definition of we often mix up, dharma and religion. These two words are very, very confusing. Religion is a set of organized beliefs, practices, and system, right? And philosophy is based on inquiry only, without coming to a substantial outcome or substantial answer to our questions. We keep on speculating. Philosophy is something like uh, unending process. But in religion, we have a certain, method of worship. If it is a deity, we have a certain prescribed method of worship, if following a certain kind of code of conduct, and also expressing our, sentiments or feelings by serving in various ways. So many practices are involved. Not only prayers are, some rituals are involved, like we offer prasadam to Krishna. So this is part of religion. We do prayers to him. We do meditation during japam also. We visit holy dham also. Like we go to Mathura, Vrindavan, we go to Mayapur, we go to Jagannath Puri. These are dhams, and certain symbols are associated with religion. As trance means one becomes so emotionally elevated in ecstasy that he forgets his own. This is what happened with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he visited Jagannath temple for the first time. He was in a state of trance for many days because he was so elevated and so happy inside or blissful inside that he forgot his body, his everything. He saw the Lord himself with his eyes. So that is this is the trance state, and we do, in ISKCON we do Sunday feast also, where we call people. So this is the difference. So philosophy, you see, is never ending process. It is based on inquiry and it is incomplete, whereas religion is a complete process, and the devotional service is. So there is a difference between Sankhya Yoga and the Buddhi Yoga, that is Krishna consciousness. Yes. Anybody would like to define what is Sankhya? These are differences between two practices, path.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I?
Yeah, sure, Pataji, please.
Okay. Differences between Sankhya Yoga and Buddhi Yoga. Sankhya Yoga or philosophical speculation. Number 1, indirect path. Buddhi Yoga, Krishna consciousness, direct path. 2, Sankhya Yoga, dependence on personal endeavor. In Buddhi Yoga, it is dependence on Krishna's mercy, a process of depending entirely on Supreme. Sankhya Yoga. Number 3, unsure of success. Buddhi Yoga, surety of success. Number 4 in Sankhya Yoga, initial purification required by prescribed duty. Buddhi Yoga, ends and means are the same. Krishna consciousness is itself the purificatory process. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So now about the Jnana Yoga and the philosophical speculation. Arjuna asked, intelligence is better or Buddhi Yoga is better? In further verses, he is going to differentiate the two. Now, as I told you that the going to the 10th floor by a lift was a direct path, and by taking steps or maybe the ramp to 10th floor was an indirect path. It takes long time, and we'll come to more differences between direct and indirect path afterwards, and dependence on personal endeavor, because a lot of effort is to be made by a person who has to climb steps or ramp. So how much you speculate, how much kind of questions you put up, what kind of inquiries, that is unending process. Here, dependence is on Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy, mercy of pure devotees, and mercy of spiritual master. If they are happy, we develop Krishna consciousness. You will remember that Shraddha, after Shraddha, the next point was Sadhu Sangha and is initiation from a spiritual master. Then only Bhajan Kriya develops. So importance lies here of Krishna's mercy and the mercy of devotees of Krishna, pure devotees of Krishna, or our spiritual master. Path is very easy of Bhakti Yoga, of Buddhi Yoga. And they are never sure of success because they have nothing, they never come to a definite conclusion. The philosophers and scientists, they always, so many scientific theories have been evolved and every day they are changing, and they believe, no, this is not correct. So this kind of uncertainty is there in Sankhya Yoga, whereas there is surety of success. Once you develop devotional service under, or did you get initiation under a spiritual master, you developed, there is instant anarth nibrati, and then you develop ruchi, nishtha, and asakti. So this is path is much easier, Buddhi Yoga. And lastly, initial purification required by prescribed duty. Now, just now I mentioned that by performing the prescribed duty, there is impurities of heart are nullified. And what are those impurities? I just now mentioned that the false ego and the proprietorship or lordship over material nature. But here there is nothing like purificatory process. There is no regulation for Krishna Bhakti. There is no precondition for Krishna Bhakti. There is no time fix or no qualification. Here, end and means are the same. Here, Krishna is there. He is our end. He is the means through which we reach him. And why it is being said? Because the persons in the path of Bhuti Yoga or Krishna consciousness, they do not require to follow the path of purificatory process. Whereas in philosophical, in Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, one has to do lot of endeavor in the form of meditation, japam, and all those things. But here, the end and means are Krishna ultimately. And once we are established in Krishna consciousness, purification of heart immediately takes place. We keep on following, we start following 16 hours of keeping a Rata Shibrat, keeping 16 hours of japa, and also following the 4 regulative principles. These are basic qualification only, which everybody can practice. Yes, next one. Mataji.
Can I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कारयते हि अवशः कर्म सर्वप्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, we can see. Now take our own example. We are forced by 3 modes of material action, 3 modes of material nature, forcibly, because they force us to act, and we cannot resist. We have a temptation to eat one more rasgulla, knowing that I am a diabetic, I should not eat one more, even one is not worth taking. But what happens that the mode of material nature, mode of the passion or ignorance, that forces us to eat one more. So whatever we are acting, it is because of mode of ignorance of action, or lastly, the goodness. So no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. The Lord Krishna is now pointing out that I understand why you are confused between the 2 modes, because of those 3 influence of 3 modes of material nature. And under these act, one keeps on acting whatever it is. But the gist of this meaning is that one has to rise above the 3 modes of material nature and attain the Shuddha Tattva, Shuddha Vishnu Tattva or Shuddha Sattva. Rise above this, so that do Nishkam Karma, so that the reactions do not happen, and action reactions, they do not affect your activities. Yes, next one. Embody this. Pankaj Prabhu, you can go.
Yes, Guruji. And your spirit are always active, pushes the and chasing the body also into the constant activity, engaging in the chasing better than being dedicated by illusory energy binds the soul to the material mode, received only through the purificatory process given in the Shastra. In the Krishna conscious, no purification required, as it is self purificatory.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this we have discussed already, that we are forced under 3 modes of material nature to act. We want to, we want to we want to resist, but we have to act helplessly because of their influence. The influence of three modes of material nature is so strong that we cannot at most of the times. But that is why, because we don't get purified. But if we take up Krishna consciousness, purification takes place automatically. So in other modes, one has to undergo. What happens if one does not undergo the purificative process? Say, take a person who is going to take up the renunciation or renounced order of life, sannyas. Now, if his heart is not purified, he is still having some kind of hankering or some kind of tendency to lord over the nature or some kind of body consciousness. Then what happens? He may go for sannyas, but the ideas of materialism will persist in his mind indefinitely, and he will not be successful in this world or in the world of sannyas. So that is importance of the emphasis here is that our heart must be purified before we take up Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga if we want to reach Krishna. But in Bhakti Yoga, such processes are not required. Uh, uh, yes. Now, this is a graphic representation. Sankhya Yoga is impractical since soul is active in nature. Now, this is a beautiful graphic presentation here. We know the soul is eternal. She is all, or it is always active. It is always active. It is never inactive. That is why Krishna consciousness is also always active. Yeah. Now, when soul is active, the body is also active. So it is the activity which is always taking place in a natural manner, and soul and body must always act. Now, soul and body both need some kind of engagement because we can't sit without any work. And what is that engagement? Either it is illusory energy, that is Maya. We see all around us a beautiful film has come, or some new store has come, or some new item of FMG has come, or some new good has come, or new mobile has come, or new car. So we are attracted by this Maya or Maya energy. And result is we get involved in many kind of activities in mode of ignorance or passion. Now, second activity is that second type of engagement could be spiritual. First is material engagement. Second could be spiritual. And that is, there is no, we heard in, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And earlier also, we heard that there was no diminution if even one person takes up devotional service and he fails to get perfection in this life, there is no diminution because that account of credit of devotional service is carried forward to next form of life. Next, and God gives us an opportunity to fulfill that or the attain perfection in our devotional service in next life. So there is no loss in here. Illusory energy or Maya is never fulfilling. We have one today, we want tomorrow four, maybe day after we want more. So this kind of race keeps on going. But in spiritualism or spiritual energy is always, or spiritual activity is very satisfying. When we come in contact with the material nature, then we acquire three modes of material nature. And in Shastras, what is mentioned here, you can see the Shastra, print of Shastra here. Prescribed duties are recommended in Shastra. So what happens after doing prescribed duty? The soul gets purified from the affinities. And what are our affinities? We have mentioned those contaminations, two types. And this leads to Krishna consciousness. So we have to follow either the Shastras or we have to follow the spiritual master. And then we should take up a spiritual journey rather than this getting involved in the Maya Jal or this illusory energy of Maya. So we have to be very careful and this is the Gyan Lord Krishna is giving here. This is the knowledge he is imparting to Arjuna that what you are supposed to do. Both ways, purification process will take place, whether you perform by performing prescribed duty and also by doing the Krishna consciousness or devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just want to understand here Sankhya Yoga and Krishna consciousness, right? The two things. So in Sankhya Yoga also it leads to the Ashtanga Yoga where the soul is led by intellectual knowledge and ultimately the attainment is the bliss, the samadhi. The Sankhya Yoga leads to Samadhi, the where the soul is through Jnana, it's now aware of that ki what is my duty and how I have to perform and how I will lead my soul to ultimate truth. So at the end, Sankhya Yoga, it's giving the same. Where Krishna consciousness also, it does not come at one time. Like if I'm a soul, I'm a person, living being. So from the birth, I'm not Krishna conscious. By day, as my age grown up, I grown up, my intellect grown. Then I get into it. Now I know some knowledge I gain, and now I'm in Krishna consciousness. Now I know the supreme energy is Krishna now, and my duty is to serve his lotus feet. So it I did not gain it at the time of when I was 5 years or 6 years or 10 years or 12 years. At that point of time, that intellect did not develop. So please make me understand that why this two stream is different. It's
Mataji,
leading to one path.
Mataji, there are two things to be understood. First, you talked about first about samadhi. This is what mystic yogis and impersonalists work for. They follow the Ashtanga, which is very, very difficult to practice in Kali Yuga. Only Nam Sankirtan or Nam Japa is the easiest way of worship in this yoga. We have already discussed these things, right?
Yes,
Next,
that is Bhakti Yoga, Prabhuji, right?
no. I'm talking about Gyan Yoga. Gyan Yoga will involve all these steps. We'll come to it afterwards. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. Samadhi is the ultimate stage. And it was unique during Satyuga that people used to meditate for thousands of years. But this age is very small and our mental faculty is very low. Our memory is very short. There is klesha, or the material, material distresses are all surrounding us all around. We can't be, so samadhi is very difficult. Ultimate, and what does mystic yogi or person in samadhi gets? He just wants to merge into the Brahman effulgence. Brahman effulgence is, if you remember the three modes of realization of three stages of realization of God, I had given you an analogy of sun. There is sun God, there is sun disk, and there are sun rays. So a person in samadhi wants to merge into the sun rays only, or maybe in the sun globe only. He does not know that there is a sun God beyond it, right? Or he wants to merge into the Brahman effulgence only. But a person who knows about Paramatma, he wants to merge into the sun disk. But who is a devotee or bhakta, he has a perfection of knowledge. He wants to merge into, not merge actually, he wants to attain Krishna, who is the sun god. So the approach, the ladders, the example of 10th floor, reaching 10th floor, is destination is very long for a person who is a jnani. Karmi, it is very difficult. Bhakti yoga, it is easy and short. It is a shortest cut. Of course, all the Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga ultimately lead to Krishna, but the pathway is very long and very tough to practice. Bhakti is very easy.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Is it okay? Does it
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
So our life is all. If I told you, if one has a 100 years of life, he thinks I am a very, very lucky person. Very 11 to 18%, there is scientific data. I don't really correct the number, but 17 or 80% people are able to cross 60 years of age these days. So our life is short. There is too many tribulations. There are too many kleshas. the life is very short, memory is very short. So we cannot take up those difficult pathways. So the two pathways, which is a spiritual or material pathway, and purification is not required in Krishna consciousness pathway, whereas in this, you have to perform prescribed duties. A person who is in Krishna consciousness has no prescribed duties, certain regulations only. We'll come to all these aspects, Madhuri. Thank you for asking very nice question. Now, this is the picture. Karmendriyani संयमम या आस्ते मनसा स्मरण इंद्रियार्थान विमुधात्मा विमूढ़ात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम या आस्ते मनसा स्मरण इंद्रियार्थान विमूढ़ात्मा Mityachara so uchyate. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. He is called a mithyachari. You can see this sadhu. What is he doing? Anybody would like to explain what is happening here?
Being in the, it seems it's a disguise that he is enjoying the material world and attached with the some, desired things like smoking and talking, chatting, all those things. So it definitely not a devotee, not a conscious, for the desire for the God or the truth.
So he is a pretender here, mithyachari. That means his acharan is mithya. His conduct is wrong. He is posing himself as a sannyasi or a renunciate. But in fact, he is not sannyasi. Sannyasi means one who has given up all material comfort, all material objects, no sense gratification, and only devoted to meditation and devotion only. But you can see he is a mithyachari. So such persons, they are also called as show bottle spiritualism. They are just externally they are showing themselves to be spiritual, but actually they are not, and their mind is always dwelling on dwelling on the material objects. They are not able to concentrate on Lord. Yes, this one. Dr. Ipsita, if you have not read, please unmute.
Sure, Prabhuji. यस्त्वित्वा इन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभतेऽर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियै कर्मयोगं न स ततः स विशिष्यते. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior.
Thank you, Mataji. So here we saw a person who is pretending to be a sannyasi, but in fact his mind is still running on material object. In this picture, you can see these are all grahastha people. They are drawn from different, they are leading a family life, but they are doing service to the Lord because they are focusing their senses and mind in a controlled manner and rendering devotional service to Lord. So such a person, a grahast, is better than such a pretender or mithyachari who pretends to be a sannyasi but who is not actually, his conduct is not actually. So the message here is a grahastha is far better as compared to false renunciate. Yes, Mataji, please continue this one also, Sita.
Prime Swaragati, or goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. Entire institution of Varna and Ashrama designed reach this goal of life, reached by members of every ashrama and Varna through service in Krishna consciousness. Pretentious exhibitions are detrimental in achieving the goal.
So every living entity, the purpose of being given this human life is to reach Vishnu or reach Krishna or Krishna Lok, right? We are detached from our parents. Now we have to go back to our parents. We are in this prison. We have to get ourselves free from this prison and go back to our real home, back home, back to Godhead. That is our real home. And we are separated, from our parents. Entire institution of Varna ashram is designed to reach this goal of life and reached by members of every ashram or Varna through service in anybody. I mean, a Shudra or Vaishya or a Brahmana or Kshatriya can take up according to his Varna, and also ashrama, that is Brahmacharya, Grahastha, or then Vanaprastha and Sannyas can reach Krishna. Pretentious exhibitions are detrimental and achievable, but person who cannot achieve this thing, who just pretend, who is mithyachari. So one who restrains senses but mind dwells on sense objects is a pretender or a mithyachar. Mithyachar, your pretender, we call, he is the greatest cheater because he is not he is showing what he is really not. So he shows to be in deep meditation, but his mind is still dwelling on sense objects. But he has no philosophy. His philosophy has no value because he's just a show bottle spiritualist. So knowledge is stolen by illusory energy. In the case of that sadhu, talking on mobile phone, smoking, his knowledge has been stolen by Maya of the Lord. So Maya of Lord, Yoga Maya is very, very powerful of Lord. Lord has got so many energies, external energy, internal energy, and marginal energy. He has got so many energies, and external energies is entire material world and universes, which we come across on day-to-day basis. So for sense enjoyment, brahmachari, these are social orders which were mentioned earlier. Brahmachari, a grahast, a vanprasth, or a sannyas can control his sense and can reach the follow rules and regulations of his order as prescribed in the as per his ashrama, varna, and then he can gradually get purified. So as mentioned earlier, prescribed duties, if performed sincerely, they can result into purification process. So that means one does not have to go to other places or secluded places, do meditation and all kind of activities for purification. In Krishna consciousness, it happens automatically. How does it happen? Control senses and mind and engage your karma to or activities to Krishna, surrender all results to Krishna, but don't derive any benefit. So this is far superior. So this was verse number 7. I think we have stepped up over the time. So I will stop here. We'll take up tomorrow the remaining part of this. This chapter will be covered in 3 sections, but I am not quite well. So tomorrow and 24th and 25th, I will take excuse and we shall have no classes on tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So please prepare this. Will be shared in the group. So whatever we have read, and also from Bhagavad Gita as it is, you can go through the third chapter for a better understanding. I will stop here. Attendance list probably Mataji has already posted. I am not sure. If not, I am posting now. Please fill the attendance before you leave. Any questions, doubt, suggestions, or corrections, please, or opinions, observations you can give. One devotee, Siraja Paudel. Mataji or Prabhuji, I am not able to decide. We have a devotee here, Prabhuji and Mataji. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Please, we have not heard anything from you since long. Please be active and participate. Participation of all devotees is very essential. This is like a family of devotees. We want to interact with each other and also know each other and help each other in moving up in our spiritual journey. Thank you, Mataji. So, any questions anybody would like to ask? Any doubts, if I could clear? I think
Hare
so.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I did not follow the difference between Karma Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga.
Nishkam Karma Yoga, there is Karma Kand, which relates to rituals only, practicing rituals only for Bhog and Aishwarya. That is the theme of Vedas. Karma Yoga has got 3 components, Mataji. That is Sakam Karma and also Nishkam Karma. And if we divide this karma into 3 sections, then it becomes karma, akarma, and vikarma. Is it okay, Mataji?
Now, in Karma Yoga also we offer the fruits to the Lord. And in Nishkam Karma Yoga also we offer the fruits to the Lord.
Mataji,
So
Karma
then,
Yoga is the broad heading, and there are 2 types of karma within Karma Yoga, right? In Karma Yoga, there are 2 types of work. One is Sakam Karma, and other is
okay,
Nishkam Karma.
okay, follow.
You are not at the
Thank you.
parallel levels. This is the 2 types of activities are defined in under Karma Yoga, Sakam
Okay,
Karma and Nishkam Karma.
okay, follow. Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Mataji.
Ranjit Prabhuji.
Thank you. Any other doubt or question? If you are not asking question, there are 2 things. Probably I am not able to explain. Probably subject is too tough. I do not have proper words and expression or communication to make you understand. Or probably everything is very smooth, which most likely is not. So please ask questions. We are mundane people. I'm also very limited knowledge, fund of knowledge. Whatever I have read, I try to understand, assimilate, and present before you. So my understanding is very
Prabhuji, topic by topic, word by word, and chapter by chapter, your explanation is up, up to the level where we are able to understand it very easily. And in between, wherever I am finding any difficulty, definitely I'm asking question, and you're throwing light on those question is definitely it's quenching my curiosity to know about the topic. Thank you, Prabhuji, and it's definitely my journey is going towards Krishna and Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. And this is my humble request to all of you also. Please put questions because the doubts will always come. Arjuna was such a elevated devotee, pure devotee. He was a companion friend, a Das of Lord Krishna. Still, he asked so many questions. He asked these questions for our benefit. In fact, he was elevated person. There was no need for him to ask. So this is in fact everything which Arjuna is doing is a lesson for making for us, because whatever he was from friend. Now that 5 kind of bhava, we know whatever kind of bhava, we have a loving relationship with our father, our family members. We should have a loving relationship with Krishna also, who is so kind and merciful father. So uh, my suggestion is that if there is any doubt, let us ask it, let us clear it. Right? Sheila Mataji, yes, please ask if there is any doubt.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's not. I'm not asking about doubt here. Actually, I'm just asking what are the other ways. I mean, definitely we must even in a karma yoga we must don't think about any fruit of the karma. We have to do our karma, and as Krishna said, definitely you will get result. So actually what happens when any student gives examination, definitely that the student is preparing for getting higher marks, more and more marks. So this desire sometimes keep us going above. I mean, if you are doing, if you desire good things, definitely you are doing great and great. So my question is actually ki, this desire sometimes gives us a good I mean in a gives a good way, or say it's something which because of such we can attain a greater object. For example, here if we want to know about Krishna, we are desiring that we must know something much more. So I mean my question is what is the difference of desire established by Maya or a normal desire which will acquiring because of such we can go to the higher places.
Thank you, Mataji. It's a very pertinent question. In fact, we cannot live without desires. This is our status. But because mind, just now we heard that soul and body are so active, they cannot stop for a moment. So desires keep on coming. Why desires keep on coming in our minds? Because of our mode of material nature. But let us be discriminatory about the desires, which are materially oriented, which are spiritually oriented. Spiritually oriented, no problem. A student works very hard. He wants to have first position or maybe very high marks and attaining all those benefits. Everybody wants to reach them. But let us offer these marks to Lord Krishna. It is your Prabhu. It is your mercy that I could stand first position, could attain first position. So then it becomes a Nishkam karma. Karman Padhikarya. So Lord Krishna has just we had gone through this sloka. It is, let us leave the result. Let us work very hard for the examination. Let us leave the result to Lord. He will take care. So let us think on those lines. Let us develop this kind of mentality or mental consciousness that whatever we are doing for Krishna only. And Krishna will ultimately reward according to our ability, according to our sadhana or devotion. So we have to focus everything. We have to dovetail everything, activity with Krishna. We have to connect everything with Krishna. Then there shall be no reaction to those things. Benefits will not be enjoyed by us. Fruits will not be enjoyed by us. We shall be, of course, happy. Because Krishna is happy, we will also be happy. Krishna is happy, all demigods are happy. We'll come to this sacrifice section that we offer, offerings to in the sacrificial fire to so many demigods, Varun, Indra, and all those. Then they offer it to Krishna, and Krishna grants boons or benedictions, and the demigods, they give us benediction. We'll come to this in this very chapter again also.
Definitely, Prabhuji. Dhanyawad, Prabhuji.
Is that okay, Mataji? Answer your question?
Definitely, Prabhuji. This was actually in my mind, but I just want to confirm from you.
Thank you for asking for the benefit of. So please fill in the attendance. We'll call it a day because we have overstepped the time. If there is any other question, you can put in the checks. Next time, Siraja Paudil Mataji, I will request you to please read some verse. So tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, there may not be any class because I hope I shall recover by then. And then after 2 days, we'll have class. And also we are planning that we can make the schedule short, maybe weekend classes or maybe some break in the weekend or something. This is under plan because I understand initially attendance was about 25 or 30 persons. First it was 45, then went to 25. Now we are there hardly 10 to 15 persons devotees here. I know you have got lot of other commitments also, and the time is most prime time of the evening, families and other activities. So just so that more and more people continue to join, we will plan that. Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavad Pranam for your participation and association. We close. Yes, Mataji. Anything you would like to ask or say, Mataji?
No problem.
Okay. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोट वैष्णव की जय. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna devotees, Prabhuji and Mataji for your association and kind participation. Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranam to all of you. Hare Krishna.